Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Vanessa and you are watching the Exploring Oracle, or the Exploracle for short. So today we will be taking a look at another indie deck. This is the Brady Tarot. So it is a 78 card artist deck of hand-colored lino cuts by Emmy Brady. So a portion of the proceeds are donated to the North American environmental and indigenous nonprofits. It includes a full-length book written by Rachel Pollack. Rachel Pollack also wrote The 78 Degrees of Wisdom, which is a very, very popular book for those that are learning tarot. So this is inspired by the animals and plants of North America. And you have here a quote from Rachel. So this is like a sleeve on the box, but this is what the box looks like. There is like a stamp detail of an owl, the Brady Tarot. It looks really luxe and beautiful. A journey through the wilderness of spirit. Although I don't really like boxes that open that way because they do tend to loosen up over time. And you have these details, which are the symbols of the suits of the minor arcana. Okay, move that to the side. So let's first take a look at the guidebook, which also has the same embossed detail. Artist statement, tips for use. The wands or the fire suit become feathers. They have borders of red triangles, and the cups or the water suit become horns. Swords, air, are arrows, and the coins and earth become the roots. So later on, I'll show you the borders are colored depending on the suit of the minor arcana. So you have here the majors. And I think what lino cut means is that each of the art has been carved and then painted and then transferred so that it can be printed into this art. And it's a beautiful deck. Beautiful art. Now let me try and find information on that. Okay, so the Brady Tarot is a suit of 79 hand-colored lino cuts I created over 18 months. The bulk of the work, I carved each image by hand, printed the card blocks onto paper, and hand-colored those prints with gouache. So yeah, so it's a very labor-intensive process, and you can really see it and feel it as you go through the cards. So and then you have the meanings for each of the cards written by Rachel Pollack. So I'm pretty sure that this is an amazing guidebook. It's a pretty chunky guidebook, and there's a lot of information here that you can get. And it goes all the way to the end. Now I don't think there are spreads. Oh yeah, you just have a few spreads here, just one. So yeah, you just have this spread at the end of the guidebook. So moving on, so the cards are bigger than your usual tarot size card. Here it is compared to the This Might Hurt Tarot. It is slightly taller and a little bit wider. The cardstock is matte. It has a rose petally feel, but it's not the super sticky kind. Yeah, and so I don't usually like rose petal finish, but this one I don't mind. The gilding is the matte gilding that I like, not the sharp ones that peels off easily on your fingers. And yeah, it's a bit thick but very flexible. So yeah, and then let's zoom in and take a closer look at each of these cards. Okay. So the major arcana borders are not, it has some borders which are blue, which signify the cup suit, and I think it's done so that it can kind of represent the element of that particular major arcana card. There's very detailed artwork. Look at it. And I can't believe that it's carved. You know, carved and colored. The colors are very vivid. They jump off of the card when you look at it. I'm not sure if the camera is picking it up, but because of the black background, I usually have trouble seeing cards on black backgrounds, but because of the I don't know, the saturation, the brightness, the way it's colored, this just it's easy for me to see, at least the image. But because of the intricacy of the art as well, I mean, look at that. There's a lot of details that you can really look into. Devil. It's like a very raw, nature-based deck. And I know that some of the animals here, well, coming from the Philippines, some of the animals here are not that familiar to me. But I still like how they represent, how they're used to represent certain cards in the deck. Then for the minor arcana, you also have a keyword on each of the cards, which is helpful for beginners, or even for those that have been doing tarot long, because it gives you another perspective or of the card. Although I do know that keywords can be hit or miss for some people, but I have no problems with the keywords on this deck. I mean, just I'm amazed at how this is produced. The Eight of Wands, 9. It does take some getting used to because of the renamed suits, and the court cards are also renamed daughter, son, father, mother, and father. But I have no issues with it. Ace of the cup suit, or the horn suit, I think, for this deck. Celebration. As always, feel free to slow down, speed up, or pause if you want to take a closer look at the cards, because there is a lot of detail in these cards. I mean, look at this Mother of Horns. It's very bright, just beautiful. You know, I collect tarot because I also love collecting decks for the art. And this one is just really amazing to me. And I do have other animal decks in my collection, but there's a certain rawness to the art on this deck. I mean, look at this. That isn't present in some of my other decks. So this is the suit of arrows, or the suit of swords. Okay. The Eight of Swords, oppression. There's so much detail in the card that you can actually ignore the keywords if you don't resonate with them, I think. It's detailed enough for you to just focus on the art. I mean, even if it's like just written at the top, I can just choose to focus on the image. And our last suit, the roots or the pentacles, associated with the element of earth. Altruism. Alright. As always, I zoomed out and let's take a look at how this deck shuffles. Now, this deck is a big deck. The card stock is a bit rose petally. So by all accounts, I know that I wouldn't like shuffling this deck. But for some reason, it still works. And I don't know, because some big decks or even those with rose petal finish that are smaller than this give me trouble. But aside from, you know, the initial getting my hand around this deck, I think it shuffles fairly well. And of course, I can always divide it for a better or more even shuffle. And then just join it and get the other half and like that. But I haven't really found the need to do that, because I'm okay with shuffling it this way. You know, leaving a bit behind, some behind, but you know, just pick it up and put it back in the deck. Now, since it is a rose petal finish, you do expect it to stick a little bit when you side shuffle. And usually, I have difficulty getting cards to jump out, but again, for some reason, this deck works. And yeah, so we will be reading for the Eight of Cups, the Eight of Horns, with a keyword, departure. Okay, so just to show you the entry in the guidebook, so you have here a little, some key phrases. In a description of the art on the deck, and yeah, some more information. So let's see how it reads. I'll read a few parts of this guidebook. So the Eight of Horns, keyword departure, moving on in some way, leaving behind what is comfortable and real to discover new things or to follow a goal, an actual journey, a move into the unknown, or possibly a desire to find out what more there can be in a life that may have become too comfortable or too restricted. A wandering skimmer dragonfly has hatched from its nymph stage and flies towards a mountain range. The mountain image recalls the hermit, where we saw mountains and a cave at the bottom of the card. Here, the mountains represent the unknown, life's mysteries, as if the dragonfly has hatched not just as a stage of growth, but to seek a higher truth, a more complex existence, or simply the fascination of the unknown. The hard carapace that protected the nymph lies below, empty but still clinging to the horsetails. These plants have not changed in 150 million years. They provide safety and familiarity, just as the shell protected the nymph, which now must be left behind so the adult can spread its wings and head towards the unknown. Thus, the card can emphasize the need to leave what is safe, yet stuck or caught, to discover not just new things, but what is new and possible in yourself. Like the mountains, the dark moon recalls the hermit. In fact, we can see a silhouette of a barn owl, the hermit's bird, at the moon's upper right. The two cards are connected, but the hermit symbolizes knowledge gained through self-imposed isolation, where the Eight of Horns emphasizes the need to leave things behind in order to discover a new life. In many Horns cards, flowing water nourishes the creatures or expresses an outpouring of emotion. Here, the horns lie almost submerged, filled by rivers that flow from the mountains. The dragonfly flies towards the unknown source of the waters. Now, the guidebook mentioned the Hermit card, so, hold on, let me just find. Alright, so I also found the Hermit card because it was referenced by the guidebook. So we see here the mountains and the moon is also shown here. And yeah, she did mention that the shadow of the owl is also in the moon. And it is a beautiful Hermit card, right? So yeah, this is the Brady Tarot. I think that the art is really one of a kind. I don't have anything like this in my collection yet. I mean, I have other animal decks, but this is just pretty special. The guidebook, well written, which can be expected from Rachel Polak. And yeah, if you like this video, please don't forget to click on the like button and do consider subscribing to my channel. I post videos at least once a week, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!